Girl Scouts! Thank you so much for joining me today for the Friday family activity. These activities are really fun for all ages and can be done with things that can be found around your house so that you can stay healthy at home. So spring is officially here, and I wanted to celebrate by creating some salt dough ornaments. These are a really easy way to get creative and decorate your house for this season. So let me show you some examples of what we'll be creating today. Alright, so let's go over what we'll need today. The recipe that I'm using today calls for 2 cups of flour, a cup of salt, and a ½ cup of lukewarm water. And I would actually suggest having some extra flour on hand in case your dough gets sticky while you're rolling it or using the cookie cutters. You'll also need a mixing bowl, a roller, and a flat surface. And I use a cutting board for this so that you can roll your dough. And then you will also need cookie cutters and a straw so that you can poke a hole for stringing your ornaments. Go ahead and line a few baking sheets with parchment paper and grab a spatula. And finally, of course, be sure to grab some art supplies, such as acrylic paint, glitter, sequins, beads, and any other things you want to use to decorate your ornaments. Today, I'm just going to use some acrylic paint, and then I also have a few different kinds of paint brushes that I'll use. So once you have all of your supplies, preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll get started. All right, so are you ready to make ornaments now? All right, the first thing we're going to do is combine our flour and our salt. So I'm going to dump that in there and add the salt. And before I add the water, I'm just going to mix this around a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good mixed. Okay, so next you're going to slowly add in the water and mix it together. So keep in mind that you want your dough to be as smooth as possible, kind of like Play-Doh. So you're going to add small increments of water as you mix it together. And once you see it kind of gets a little crumbly, just keep adding a little bit of water here and there. So if you have a stand mixer, you can also use that and just keep it at a low speed. And again, just add the water slowly as you mix it together. All right, and so it's getting well mixed. It's a little messy, but just go ahead and keep mixing it in, and you'll do this for about 5 minutes until it really starts to look like dough. So I've rolled my dough onto my surface, and now I'm going to pick out my cookie cutters. I have a lot of springtime cookie cutters thanks to my mom. She collects them and has been collecting them for as long as I can remember. So I've obviously picked out some springtime ones. And then I wanted to make it a little fun because I love cactuses and country western music. So I have a cactus and a guitar to go along with it. So you can definitely get creative here. I'm using these cookie cutters today, but you are more than welcome to use anything you want. So you can use your handprints, you can use your thumbprints. If you have any stamps, you can press into the dough and make some really fun designs. But yeah, it's just a really fun thing. You don't have to go by any kinds of rules. Just have a lot of fun with it. Once you cut out your shapes, transfer your ornaments to your cookie sheet and grab your straw. You'll poke a hole into each one of your shapes so that you can fit a ribbon or a string through each one of the holes. You could also use a toothpick, just make sure that the hole goes all the way through. And then you're going to pop it in the oven and bake for 30 minutes. I would suggest flipping them halfway just to make sure they bake all the way through. And you know, every oven is different, so just keep an eye on them as they bake. And the ornaments should only harden and not brown. That's when you know they'll be done. Here they are. I just took my ornaments out of the oven and let them cool for about 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure they're cool completely before you move on to the next step, which is decorating. But as you can see, they're kind of hard. They're not brown at all, so you know they're definitely done. And now it's time to decorate. Again, I will just be using acrylic paint, but feel free to use anything you want, like glitter, sequins, beads, whatever your heart desires. And then once you're done painting, you'll use a piece of string or ribbon to thread through your ornament so that you can hang it up. Check it out. Here are my springtime salt dough ornaments and a cactus. So once you're done painting, let them dry completely before you put your yarn or ribbon through them. And if you have it, you can spray it with a clear coat of acrylic spray paint. This will just help protect them, but it's definitely not required. And that should do it. Thank you so much for joining me today for our Friday family activity. I hope you all have a great time staying healthy at home.